thank you, Miss Lady. Oh, Miss S. Pearl Sharp, let me tell you, this project called Sojourner Truth, Ain't I a Woman, produced by Avery Sharp, and featuring Onaje Allen Gums, Uran Israel, Craig Handy, Dwayne Eubanks, and Ms. Jerry Brown, is a work of art. It is a testament to our struggle, our triumph, to us as mother and father of civilization. And, I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a guest in the studio, Miss Linda Tarrant Reed, who I'm going to introduce you to in a moment. I got a caller on the line who is joining our conversation. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Yes, pleasant day, my sisters.
Oh, pleasant. Glad to have you, my brother.
And once again, I want to let your sister know that you are not alone.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. I often ask myself, where did we go wrong as a humane people to just end up in a new millennium with war after war after war? And, with such great potential, I really, maybe I was in denial, but it's coming up over and over and over again. They say if it walks like a duck. I'm just picking up the sense that this selfishness of white supremacy have really, it brought the end of what could have been a great world. It could have been a great country, because all the potential, and I'm just picking up from the sisters mentioning how all the events that these women made. I haven't heard of some of this stuff.
Yes.
And probably a lot of other women haven't, other sisters haven't heard it either. Probably that's the reason why some of them don't, feel a certain sense of, plugged into, progress or plugged into, making things better, So, and many of us don't feel plugged into the country. And your guest, Ms. Reed, and the former one that was before her.
Oh, our sister S. Pearl Sharp is still on the line.
Oh, great. Well, hey.
And S. Pearl, I'm going to give you first opportunity to address our brother's query because it's a very important one. He wants to understand why things continue the way they do. Why do injustices in this country continue, and where have we gone wrong that they would continue?
I don't think that we have gone wrong. We're a little bit gone wrong. And that little bit, I think, is after we came through the civil rights movement and we knocked down a lot of the biggest walls, that we kind of got comfortable, and the country helped us get comfortable because we got Good Times and we got the Jeffersons on TV, and we just kind of kicked back and said, okay, we're cool now. When in fact, those who had plotted, Jim Crow and Reconstruction and so many other things that undermined us, the Klan, they were busily at work.
Busy.
But I think the other thing is that so much of our time and energy is consumed in survival, in survival skills, that once you come off of that march or that campaign or that out of that courtroom, you got to get back to, now how am I paying the rent? How am I making sure my children are safe? How am I dealing with the health cares of my parents? And the survival things begin to claim our attention so that the next emergency that happens, we're trying to respond. And I think the difficulty is getting to a point where we feel stable enough that we can be prepared, like we talked about earlier, to deal with issues. But we also forget. I'm stunned by how many of our children only know Martin Luther King as the I Have a Dream speech. They don't know anything else about him. They don't know about the Martin Luther King, Malcolm X dynamic. They don't know about the Freedom Ride. They don't know about Mississippi Freedom Summer. And that's because we haven't taught it. We haven't insisted, you're going to learn this whether you want to or not, because that was my life. That was my period. And that's why you can go to the mall today and feel free to run around.
Yes.
Because we broke that down.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. And that's as Sister Diane mentioned about the mass distraction.
Yes.
That's where I'm coming to the conclusion that that's where we haven't been allowed to really express our spiritual gifts to the universe, to the world, to this country again, to the globe.
Well, see, my dear brother,
distractions, and that's why this new millennium is we coming up short. Because this is.
Well, I wouldn't criticize our ability to stand tall in the new millennium. I think that it's very important for us to begin to heal from the confusion and the distraction and the lack of understanding of our true nature of who we really are. If we are a reflection of the Creator and the creative process, and we understand that we have the power to make a real democracy, to make real justice, and to win the hearts and minds of good people, from the others,
okay,
who have maybe given themselves over to the thinking or have been bullied into the thinking that they've got to perpetuate the supremacy consciousness.
I don't.
We have the power to transform that into truth, fairness, justice, and equality for all, and decency. We have the ability, but we have to wake up to the fact that we must take that as our mission and not just be materialistically bent, and also consider, the economic dynamics that drive the whole situation that drove slavery and drove Jim Crow and so on,
And I think we do express our spiritual gifts even when they don't want us to.
Yes.
I think this nation is still standing because we have expressed our spiritual gifts.
Yes.
In spite of them trying to take away the drum and, cut out the tongue and don't let them learn how to read and all of that. We found a way to do it anyway.
My brother,
it's still being discredited for it all. It's just madness.
But we've got to. When do we give ourselves credit? When do we take our legacy and we share it? This is our moment. When we have Sister S. Pearl Sharp on with us, and she gives us this glowing history of Bea Richards partnering with these dynamic sisters. It was 132 of them?
132 women came, yeah.
Bea Richards and Frances E. Williams. And we'll talk about the legacy of Frances E. Williams briefly, just in this preliminary conversation, because...
Shirley Graham Du Bois.
Yes.
Londa Robeson. Yeah.
Oh,
my brother, thank you so much for joining the conversation.
So much. Hey, look, it's just beautiful, that's it. That's it.
I'm so proud that you are here for us. I was so humbled by you acknowledging that we are not alone.
Right.
Oh, not at all, man. This is all I knew since I was a kid. It's just that I didn't know the other variables, what was up against us. And like I said, I might have been in denial a little bit until I got older. I'm really, kind of retrospecting a lot of stuff, and it's like we got a long journey. That's it.
Yes, indeed.
And like you said, we have the potential, we got the power, and it's just another phase of reaching down in our reservoir of our spiritual self and manifesting what is already within.
That's right.
We're not alone, sisters. We're healing.
We're on the rise.
All right.
Thank you. Peace and blessings to you.
That's you.
Yes, indeed. That's just really so wonderful. And I want to introduce you, S. Pearl Sharp, to my sister, Linda Tarrant Reed, who joins us in the studio, and tell you a little bit about
Good morning.
Her wonderful project. I'm so glad that you all have shared greetings this morning. And this beautiful project that Linda Tarrant Reed has produced, I'm putting up in front of the camera. I'm hoping that we'll be able to, I've got to put it at a different angle because we got a different camera angle for our video Ustream. It is called Discovering Black America from the Age of Exploration to the 21st Century by Linda Tarrant Reed. The only overview for young readers of more than 400 years of Black American history. And it's unprecedented in its account of this glorious history of ours, set against a background of American and global events. And it begins with a black sailor aboard the Nina with Christopher Columbus, and continues through the colonial period, through slavery, through the Civil War and Jim Crow, through the Civil Rights era, to our current president, a black man in the White House, president of these United States of America, with first-person narratives from diaries and journals and interviews and archival images, and discovering Black America from the age of exploration to the 21st century is an essential, an absolutely essential book, and it's beautiful too.
Thank you, Dia.
You're so very welcome.
What a glowing introduction. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Me too.
And it's so good to be here with my sister, S.
Absolutely. Oh, S. Pearl.
I salute your work. I can't wait to see the book.
Thank you. It was a labor of love. It took me 6 years of research.
Mm-hmm.
And I was lucky enough to get a traditional publishing contract, so it's not self-published, which I know is a journey many of my brothers and sisters take. And I know how difficult that is because my background is in publishing.
So talk to me about a little bit about your publishing background.
I attended Hampton University.
Wow.
Historically black college. And at the time I attended Hampton, it was called Hampton Institute.
I remember those days.
And so I intentionally went to Hampton because I'm from New York, Westchester, which is, the sleepy suburb north of us. And when I say north of us, where we are today, which is Harlem.
Yeah.
And I just craved more information and to be in an environment where our history began. So I was lucky enough to go. My parents did not want me to go because, as you may or may not remember, but in the 60s, it was really still the Jim Crow South. And my dad said, I do not want you going down there because you have a big mouth and we want you to come home.
I got the same thing.
Yeah, right. I think
did they tell you?
That was the headset then, and it's, and I remember.
Well, that's common sense. You're supposed to protect your children.
That's right.
I have to tell you that I had nightmares about Bull Connors for decades.
Yes. He was terrifying.
Yeah, terrifying.
So anyway, went to Hampton, and it's, very paternalistic, community, academic community.
Well, let's put paternalistic in big, bold capital letters.
Okay. And so, the students were really protected. I mean, in the 60s, we couldn't even go off campus. So I think my parents, really were at ease. And I loved it. I mean, it was different from being in New York. It was different from being in Westchester. And I learned to research down there. I had this wonderful professor who I majored in English. I was also interested in anthropology. And Margaret Mead's niece was my anthropology teacher.
Oh, wow.
So, we had a lot of stuff going on even then. I mean, Hampton is now Hampton University, and they are cutting edge. They're one of the most well-endowed historically black colleges and universities in America. Yeah. Dr. William Harvey is the president and has been the president for decades. So he's doing a good job down there.
Let me just stop you for one moment and do a little housekeeping here in the Gardens of Tranquility and Contemplation at WHCR.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
We are at the top of the hour here, our last hour in the Gardens of Tranquility and Contemplation here at WHCR 90.3 FM. And we are streaming all over the world, audio streaming as well as video. The video is a little delayed, but our audio is right on point, and it's at www.whcr.org. So tell your friends, like us on Facebook, go to the Gardens of Tranquility and Contemplation and like us. This has been an extraordinary day dedicated to our Black history, the historical accomplishments of Black women, and some of the most brilliant women have been my guests, including the ladies who were with me. S. Pearl Sharp in from Los Angeles on the telephone, and Miss Linda Tarrant Reed in the studio with us with her book, Discovering Black America. And I wanted to go back for just a moment to discuss Frances E. Williams. I don't want to miss my moment to talk about the legacy of this bold, brave woman.
Frances was my mother's acting teacher when my mother was a teenager before I was born. So when I say she knew me before I was born, she really did. In Cleveland, Ohio, at the famous, what became the Karamu Theater. She lived in Mexico, where she owned a little shop. She lived in Russia, where she made a movie with a famous Russian actress, and connected with some of the children of Black people who went to Russia with Langston Hughes in the early 1950s. She had a little place in Mexico. She lived here in Los Angeles. She directed a little theater. She was the stage manager of the first production of James Baldwin's Amen Corner before it went to Broadway. It was done here in Los Angeles first, and that's how it ended up going to Broadway. She was the first Black woman to run for the city council in Los Angeles. She organized a group of people here back in the day to confront one of the major supermarket chains because they did not hire any Black people, and she got that system changed in the Ralph supermarkets. She would just sit at her table and organize things. She helped co-found the Paul Robeson Center here in Los Angeles, which still exists, and just an amazing woman who could just sit at her kitchen table and just run the world. She was very active in the women's movement. She traveled overseas to women's conferences when she was younger, and she appeared in 2 films by Oscar Micheaux. So she was an actress, writer, producer, director.
And activist.
And absolutely activist. And you will love this. She decided that there was not enough music in her neighborhood, which was a low-income, predominantly Black, few Latinos neighborhood in Los Angeles, and so she started a community orchestra.
I do love that.
I do love that. And they played jazz, and then she turned her garage into a little theater, and the Musicians Union had a program where musicians were encouraged to do some writing, literary writing.
Yes.
And so they had this program which they would meet at Francis' gallery, and the jazz musicians would play music to the work that was being read. And we're talking about Buddy Collette was one of the musicians that she was very close with.
Yes, famous.
So,
oh my goodness.
This was Frances. It was all about art and political activism.
Oh,
and
incredible.
the two were inseparable for her.
And also now, you know, another example for us sitting here, for Linda and I, and for our family who's listening in, is what she put in her will.
So what she put in her will, that the money that was left after her property was sold and everything was taken care of, was that I was to set up a grant, and it was for Black artists, directors, playwrights, musicians, visual artists, to take classes to perfect their craft.
Oh, boy.
It's great.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Now, I had a quick question for Linda, because you didn't say who is publishing the book, so we need to know how to find it.
Okay, the book is on Amazon. It's published by Abrams Books for young readers. It's, if you just Google Discovering Black America, there are a number of online book stores that you can purchase the book from, and also traditional brick and mortar bookstores, Barnes and Noble. And if it's not in stock, they order it. So any bookstore that you go to in your community, actually it would be great for people to go to bookstores and ask for it.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. Right. It is a coffee table book. It's big. It's pretty.
Yeah.
How many?
I think
pages?
it's 200 and what is it? 200. 156 pages.
And the design on the cover is just extraordinary.
Right. And
what is the age range?
The age range is middle school readers, but I've been speaking all around the country, especially in the New York metropolitan area. And I've spoken to groups, of seniors. I was at a high school in Queens, St. Francis Preparatory, which is the largest Catholic private high school in the United States. I spoke to 250 very diverse students, and that was middle school and high school. And what was so great about it, I tailored my presentation to Black inventors because they are studying the Industrial Revolution. So I was able to give them an overview of the African American inventors, men and women, who created products that moved this country forward. And one of the gentlemen, Lewis Latimer, lived around the corner from the school.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Perfect.
And Lewis Latimer, if many people know about him, but he invented the filament for the incandescent light bulb. And he also did the blueprints for Alexander Graham Bell's telephone.
Absolutely.
So the two or three students had driver's ed that afternoon, and they drove to Lewis Latimer's house.
Oh, I love it.
And took a picture and sent it to the teacher who sent it to me. So to me, that's instant. I was there a couple of hours before, spoke to these students. They asked incredible questions, totally engaged. And what they said is this was information that is not in the curriculum.
That's right. That's right. We did a wonderful Black science presentation at my grandson's school.
Okay.
And the teachers, our principal engaged the teachers, the classes, all grades, K through 5, and everyone was a beneficiary. People were so positive. They were so appreciative of this knowledge.
Yes.
And one of the parents made it a very fun AV kind of setup. And so, we had fun characters interspersed with our scientists, Dr. Patricia Bath, and, presented, and Dr. Christopher Emden from Columbia University, great scientists who are doing great things now, as well as the historical list.
Yeah, so in Discovering Black America, I do talk about contemporary inventors also. And there was an African American inventor invented the super soaker, which yes, which is that that water
that toy, that multi-million-dollar toy,
and he sold it to a toy company, and he's currently inventing stuff as we speak. So, and he was a former NASA, National Aeronautics Space
Administration,
right.
Scientist.
Right. So, we have...
And a young brother.
Right. So we have lots of incredible people that, certainly are historic figures are incredible, but it continues. We, may not be publicized, but it's up to us to pull forward these stories. We should not be waiting for somebody else to do this, because part of the reason why I wrote this book is because some of the history that's out there that was not written by us, is telling a different narrative. Mm-hmm. And the narrative is only to continue to keep that, lie.
To the system. It is a whole system of lies and interlocking lies and institutionalized lies. And it's all for economic benefit. But then there's the psychological aspect also. And so all of that is wrong, and it's got to be erased. And oh, S. Pearl, I'm going to have to send you a copy of this book. It's so magnificent.
You know what? We have a Black bookstore here. We have two. So I don't see what you said. I'm going in and ask for it.
That's right. That Black bookstore that you took me to when I was in L.A. What is the name of that again?
ESO1.
ESO1.
That's WON.
They've got to have it. Oh, listen, lady, I'm going to be bring up this music called Truth Be Told. I've got guests waiting in the hallways, waiting in the wings. And You love you, S. Pearl.
Thank you, love. I'm so happy to be in the garden today.
Me too. And, let's make this visit, at least twice, a month. I'd love to talk to you next week. We got so much to talk about.
We do.
And, so next month is going to be...
doing what you're doing, and I want people to pay attention to the fact that the sister said it took her 6 years.
Yes.
Just to research the book.
Right.
Just to research.
That's the long-distance runner.
Yes.
Right. Thank you, sister.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
Yes, absolutely.
Bye-bye.
Wonderful. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, S. Pearl. Just absolutely brilliant. And Avery Sharp with his tribute to Sojourner Truth and all of our stories of the sojourn for truth and justice, and many, many stories in discovering Black America. Kirkus Review says that from attractive page design to an afterword that encourages readers to search for their own history, there has been much attention to detail in this handsome volume. And I would say handsome in big, bold letters, okay? Because it's just gorgeous. So enjoy a little of our gorgeous music while we open the doors to the gardens of tranquility and contemplation.
That was
Good morning, family. We're going to show you some wonderful pictures, and we're going to introduce you to the contents of Discovering Black America from the Age of Exploration to the 21st Century. Take a look at that picture while Linda Tarrant Reed, the author, describes what that picture is.
That's a picture of the Tuskegee Airmen, the all-black flying squadron that participated in World 1941. So what was so extraordinary about that, the services were segregated. So the black and white, soldiers were not in the same squadron.
Thank you, Cherie.
And the superiors felt that the black soldiers could not learn how to fly and had these very, very strict and stringent guidelines to basically keep them out. And this incredible group of African American men succeeded. And actually, they were given by President George W. Bush. They were finally acknowledged. They were given by President George.
He started a trend
W. Bush
for their recognition.
In 2007, the Congressional Gold Medal, and Dr. Roscoe Brown and other Tuskegee.
One of our brothers,
right.
And here at City College, and a former president of Bronx Community College,
right.
And a host of African American Legends on CUNY TV.
Right. So they went to the U.S. Capitol to receive this award. So what's so wonderful is that they're being honored in their lifetime. So the images, there are over 150 images that I actually selected. That's not usually the process in publishing.
That's right.
Because they usually get a photo editor. But because I've had I've worked on so many other books for so many other people. I worked on the Million Man March book. I worked on.
Who was that by?
That was by Michael Cotton.
Really?
Yes, a journalist, Newsday. And Michael had gotten the idea before the march, actually, which was in October, I think, in 1995.
That's right, October.
To actually, cover this event, this massive event. So we got together a whole creative team and packaged the book under the creative direction of Marie D. Brown.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, literary
now, she's
agent.
the dean of our literary agents, Harlem Dean of Literary Agents.
Yes, she's incredible. And actually, Marie Brown was the first person I worked for in publishing
right?
At Doubleday and Company. So that's where I got my, my publishing chops. And I was in an editorial training program. Got to, see the whole process of, creating a book. So this is part of, it's so nice that it's full circle now, that I can actually do that, apply those skills to my own book.
Well, that's actually how the universe works.
Well, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, sometimes we do need the fulfillment, the sense of fulfillment beyond our lifetime.
That's right.
But it is supposed to come full circle.
Well, I'm a witness to that.
I know it.
And it's been like a wonderful experience. So I was able to select these photographs and really advocate for the photographs and the images and the documents that, I felt, supported the story. I also purposely selected images of African American historical figures that are not normally seen. Sometimes when you're reading African American history, and we have lovely books by African American educators, but sometimes we recycle the same images.
Yes.
And I made a point to really research and find, there's this incredible image of Dred Scott. And he was...
I don't remember ever seeing Dred Scott.
Right, exactly. And
I remember the case.
Exactly.
But, never ever seen an image.
And I made a point because he's so attractive and he has such bearing and so elegant. And I want our children to realize this man who, the Dred Scott's decision, Supreme Court, because he was seeking freedom, because his owner had moved him and his wife from a slave state to a free state. So
what states were those?
Now you're getting too.
I'm sorry.
You're getting too.
We'll find out. And you have to come back and we have to explore that and some other important factors in this book. It's just absolutely critical.
And a lot of the information. There is so much information, and it's really important for our children and for us to just review it. And it was written in such a way. I'm a journalist, and a historian. So
that's wonderful.
A lot of the pieces are, you can pick up the book and start anywhere.
Oh, that's great.
So.
Yes, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of this work, Discovering Black America. And it's a journey that I invite you to take with me. We'll meet new people, we'll revisit big moments in history, learn about the struggles endured by an enslaved people, and witness their journey to freedom against the most challenging circumstances. On the way, we'll learn lessons from the lives of these African Americans, such as perseverance, ingenuity, the importance of working together to achieve common goals. And we can use these lessons to make our lives better, no matter our own histories, background, no matter the story. And that's from the introduction. And I'll just hold this up for my audience to look at and see. And thank you, Linda. This is the first visit.
Thank you
Linda
so much
Tarrant
for having
Reed.
me.
Oh, it's I have so much fun doing this.
I'm having fun too. It's really important to, get information out there because,
it is.
People are moving about so quickly.
That's right. And we've made a really gigantic contribution today, and
thank you for that.
It's full circle for me too. My mother had the works of J.A. Rogers in her house, and she had a historical moment in desegregating Harlem in the 40s herself, along with Adam Clayton Powell and many other just local
so
folks.
Many stories,
many stories,
and everybody can relate to them.
Well, Avery Sharp's got the story called Truth Be Told, and it's a recording on his CD, and I'm going to bring it up right now, and I'll introduce you to our next guest. And thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Dahlia.
Good morning, Mel Wright. I'm so
good morning,
thankful.
Dahlia. How are you?
I'm just having such a good time, I'm so grateful to be able to bring some of this extraordinary information on the last day of Women's History Month.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of it, and I'm getting an education here in Brooklyn just listening.
Baby, I mean, this has just really been something else, and it has been a real education for all of us. I'm going
whether it's Women's History Month or any time of year, you've had some really interesting guests, and as I say, I'm getting an education.
Well, and
on the
thank
radio.
you, and thank you for helping me to have Chester Higgins. That was really quite a moment here in the Gardens of Tranquility and Contemplation.
Oh, wasn't he? He was just so erudite,
Oh my God!
I joke with him. I sent him an email back. I says, "Man, you were just so educational." I said, "You don't even stutter anymore." That's my joke with him. I mean, because he just
really
flows.
funny.
He just flows.
Yes,
with the information, and it's really great.
Well, before you introduce your comment, I'm just going to do a little housekeeping here.
Oh, okay.
What you got to do? 90.3 FM, New York.
Okay, there we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you had Madeline on talking about the
Bessie Coleman, Miss Madeline McCrae portraying the first black woman pilot.
Yes.
Madeline portrays Bessie Coleman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
It jogged my memory because are we on?
We are on.
Oh, okay, I heard a click. I thought we got cut off.
No.
Leslie Harris, she was the filmmaker who did not Just Another Girl on the IRT.
Yes.
She shot a film for HBO on Bessie Coleman. We worked upstate, and Rhonda Ross played Bessie Coleman, and Rhonda is a great actress,
Yes.
And William Williams,
and that's the daughter of Diana
Ross. Yeah, and she came up to me on the set. She says, "Would you like to hear me sing?" I said, "Well, what do you do, rap?" She says, "No, I sing jazz." And I got to hear her, and she's really good.
And she's good.
Yeah, but the production, I don't know what happened to it. We had this big reception at HBO, and they showed, clips from the film, and I don't know. I don't know if they just squashed the project or whatever, but I never heard anything else about it. And I was trying to get in touch with Leslie to see what she was doing, and I haven't been able to get in touch with her.
Wow.
So I'm glad to see that someone picked up the project. And another thing, and then I'll let you go because I know you got guests, the Haitian shoe drive has been fantastic, okay? Because they ran it again. They ran it last.
Do we still have an opportunity to get shoes to you?
Yeah.
Because I've got some waiting in my hallway for you.
Okay.
Okay, so these are shoes to Haiti.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Yeah. And so what's the contact? Is there a telephone number? What is
just call me, and okay. I'll give out.
We'll hook it up.
Yeah.
Do you have a website or something we can?
Yeah, go to www.globalsoles, like shoe soles, one word, globalsoles.com.
Is it SOLES?
SOLES, yes.
Okay, globalsoles.com.
Yeah, and the brother who started it is Rotimi Akinoye. He's a Nigerian brother. We went to Haiti together. He hooked me up, and when I found out that this was what he was doing, he brought about 2,000 shoes over to Haiti, and I promised him, I says, man, when we get back, I will have shoes for you, and it's been fantastic.
Oh, that is.
And people have contacted.
I love it.
Me from Massachusetts, from D.C., from all over.
Thanks, Mel Wright.
Yeah, no, thank Rotimi. It was his brainchild.
Well, let's talk some more next week. I love to hear your voice in the place.
And anybody that's interested, they did the thing thanks to Nayo Arinde at the Amsterdam News. It's in they ran it a second week.
Oh, fabulous! So it's in this week's paper.
Yeah, it's in
of the New York Amsterdam News.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, easy.
Peace.
Already ready from the rain, rain. 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 I don't know me so say la la la. I don't know me so for me. I don't know me so me for me don't I don't say la la la. I don't know me so for me. I don't know me so me for me don't say. I don't know so say la la la. I don't know me so for me. I don't know so me for me don't already ready from the rain, rain. 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 I don't know me so say la la la. I don't know me so for me. I don't know so be body body
So now we have a new brother we want to welcome to the family, and this is his music, and his name is Kenwood Denard. He's an internationally renowned drummer, a composer, and you could hear him singing his heart out on that particular composition. And he's an educator and a pianist, and it's performed with Wayne Shorter and Miles Davis and Mingus and Dizzy Gillespie and Manhattan Transfer and George Benson, Stanley Jordan, and Kevin and Robin Eubanks and Ahmed Jamal, as well as Sting. Okay. The list could go on, and I want to welcome you to the Gardens of Tranquility and Contemplation this morning.
My goodness, thank you so much for the family welcome, the heartfelt welcome, and it's interesting that you mentioned garden too, yes. Because my girlfriend is a farmer, and I've been really reminded that the garden is part of the family as well.
Introduce us to her.
Cherie Willoughby.
Hi, Cherie. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You can talk right into that.
Good, thank you.
Farming is for life, isn't it?
Indeed it is.
It is the earth. It is the food that gives us strength. It is, it is a joy, and we couldn't be more proud to welcome you to the family here in our gardens.
I'm honored, thank you.
Oh, yes, indeed, so much. And put you to work right away.
That's what farming is all about. You got to do the work.
That's it. You definitely. So do you help out?
How sweet. Yeah, it's a case of Green Acres.
Okay.
Green Acres is the place for me.
I remember that. I loved it. With Zsa Zsa Gabor.
But he planted a cucumber plant last year.
Oh, that's wonderful. So now you got, and it's bearing fruit.
It bore fruit before the fall came.
Before the fall,
the plant made its way back to the eternal source of life.
Now, does it revive itself? Does it recycle itself? No, you have to plant new cucumber seeds.
Yes, you do.
Oh boy! And what's the season for them? You plant them.
You plant them about April, and they go till August, September, till the frost comes.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Well, Kenwood Denard is going beyond the frost with his music, and as a testament to his beautiful mom, Ms. Gloria Denard, who joins us in the studio. Hello, Ms. Gloria.
Howdy doody.
Oh, my God. Alumna of the Juilliard School of Music and Vamp
Studios. Didn't know a thing about jazz when I was there.
Well, it was not an honored repertoire tradition or medium at that time. It took time for that to take hold. My auntie, my grandmother's sister went to Juilliard, Miss Geneva Thompson, and that was unheard of. She was there, I guess, in the 40s, so it was a long time ago.
We talk about Juilliard and the tradition, the classical music tradition, and how it was quite close-minded to jazz and so forth. Well, here, as recently as last night,
yes,
in the year 2013, one of my audience members said, told me, "Oh, look, my son is studying music, and he's really happy about it." I said, "Great. Do they have a jazz problem? Do they have a jazz program?" No, it's more of a jazz problem. They have no jazz program, and they don't even recognize the guitar as an instrument for some strange reason. So it's still with us, that closed-mindedness.
That's absolutely unthinkable. I don't understand how that could even exist. But it's a important creation, this work that was named jazz. And here in the Gardens, I lift it as an iconic healing source of music, and it is. One of my guests once described a jazz harpist, Risa Printup. She sat here and she said that she learned that every note was important. Every note was a vibration that was a source of healing. And so when you put it into that context, dear Brother Kenwood, that, we're home. This is home. And the vibration of love and honesty and truth as expressed through our music. is it cannot be denied. So jazz itself cannot be denied.
But she was a jazz harpist. You
Yes.
said?
Yes.
That's one of the first
Yes.
instruments in the world, in history.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
There's all
Absolutely.
kinds of harps. There's even a jaw harp.
Yeah. Oh, what was that?
There was the jaw harp.
Is that a jaw harp you just played for
Yeah.
us?
Do it again.
Can you
Do it
play it?
again.
Yeah, play a couple of more notes of that. Thank you. That's brilliant. And let me just tell you, tonight, Kenwood Denard is going to be at the Blue Note with Larry Coryell.
Tonight and tomorrow.
Tonight and tomorrow. Okay? And this very special project that you have brought to my attention, okay, 2 for Jazz, features none other than Gloria Denard on it. And I'm going to play that.
Dear.
Oh my goodness gracious. I'm so excited. Thank you for that beautiful. Oh, that's heavy.
Oh, beautiful.
I love to feel, I love to spend my time here with you. I feel like I could walk on air. Oh yeah, our love sustains the one true love of all still remains together, nothing anywhere can compare. Here we go, floating way beyond broken dreams. I'm prepared inside your spirit, feel to be so near it. Overcoming hills and valleys when I look in your eyes. I love to feel, I love to spend my time here with you. I feel like I could walk on air
Oh, how wonderful. What a beautiful project you all have. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, my goodness
Are
gracious.
you going to hear the last note?
Did I bring it down?
Really
floating way beyond broken dreams. I'm prepared inside your spirit, thrilled to be so near it. Overcoming hills and valleys when I look in your eyes. I love to feel, I love to spend my time here with you. I feel like I could walk on air. Oh, yeah, yeah.
To Miss Gloria Denard. My God, that's right. We applaud you.
You know how they
And Kenwood Denard. Oh my God, this is beautiful. These wonderful tracks with Rodney Jones on the guitar and Ron Mahdi on bass and
talented
Carlton Holmes
professor from Berkeley, Carlton Holmes on piano.
And you're a professor at Berkeley also.
Definitely, I love Berkeley. It's my alma mater. My mother, talking about bearing fruit and so forth. She definitely bore some fruit here that I'm grateful for. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And she stressed education. She really emphasized education from an early age. So when I went to high school, I went to Dalton High School and studied a couple of different languages.
What languages?
Well, just French and Spanish.
Good.
Which I wouldn't have considered, but she encouraged me. Being a vocalist, the French was very important because a lot of the words that she was singing in the classical tradition were French.
Okay.
And so although she didn't speak the language in the beginning, correct, she vocalized the words and pronounced the words properly.
Yeah, what on? Go on. Pass
and got me.
Well, it's a testament, and it is one of the things that you learn in studying of classical European music is the languages. The opera and the arias are in Italian. They're in French. There's the Spanish
and German.
And German,
yeah,
of course. The great works.
So that led me to study with Nadia Boulanger.
Yes.
Who is a legendary classical composer with a wonderful city named Lily Boulanger, who made history winning the Prix de Rome. And
what is the Prix de Rome?
It's just an early
Rome, isn't it?
It's a legendary composing composition. She was, I think, the first, one of the first, if not the first, and one of the youngest, if not the youngest ever to win that prize. That would be in the 1800s.
Yes.
And Nadia Boulanger was a teacher for Quincy Jones. And Michel Legrand and Aaron Copland even, who already, he was born in 1900. We're talking about some things very important things that were going on before I was born.
Absolute wonderful history.
Which, you mentioned Berkeley, which takes us up through my Berkeley experience.
Yes.
So credit to her for founding a music school.
The Manna's
and emphasizing
House.
education.
Manna
House. Manna from heaven. Manna House.
Yep. MANNA.
With an emphasis on jazz because the African American discovered and created it, and it was it loved all over the world, but America wasn't quite using that as our badge of honor, you may as well say.
Yes.
So we started at Manor House to say, you are a very important person, so this is your language and your creation. Let's all love it and learn it. And get employed by it too. That's the other thing.
Yes, and absolutely have our economic sustenance from it too as well.
There are 3 professors at Berkeley that went to Manor House or were involved in Manor House.
Oh, as you see, you never know this bit of history, and that's really important to know.
Involved in Manor House was another educator, a great guitarist, whose name was Skeeter Best.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
A lot of this information, again, is before I was born.
Okay.
And who did he teach?
Well, his name is Ellie Lim. He's at the Lincoln Center. He started the Lincoln Center for young people's jazz. And Yemen in his last name, Ali Yemen.
Yemen.
Yes, and he used to just, when I first visited his class, he taught the children a phrase that Skeeter Best used to say all the time. And for the life of me, I can't remember what it was, but the whole class was chanting this thing that Skeeter used to tell them.
And when you come back to visit us, we'll lift it to the heavens.
Okay.
Well, here's the phrase he used to say when I was a kid that I remember from Skeeter Best. I say, how you doing, Skeeter? He say, I'll be all right soon as I hit them numbers. But the person he taught that I was going to tell you is George Benson.
Oh, he also taught George Benson. That's
my
true.
Goodness. Oh, we were in a steady diet of George Benson. I mean, forever. It's part of our DNA now.
George has been so kind to me as a budding musician when I was at Berkeley, in my teens, and he supported Manor House very lovingly and strongly.
Yes, he did a workshop there once, long time ago.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad he did. It's wonderful for the resume too, and it's also great for the spirit that he is there, and that these other professors from Berkeley are there, and have the relationship with this institution right here in our midst, and that you have such a wonderful history. I have to note, as a parent myself, and mother of grandmother of 6.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, 6 grandkids. I now, as a more mature woman, begin to look at how we grow and what we keep intact within our growth, the spirit in us. And I have to compliment you all for keeping the spirit, the creativity, the sense of youth and wonder. I feel your connection to the universe and openness to it, and as a channel for expressing it through music and so lovingly. It's palpable.
Well, you're revealing some of the things that I would have expressed in my wildest dreams regarding our visit here in the garden. So thank you for that.
I thank you. And I thank you,
George
too.
Benson is actually a part of that. Things came full circle with George Benson in a way, because he was so supportive of her. And I'm thinking to myself, at one time I was thinking to myself, as I was coming up, I said, well, okay, George Benson really supported Manor House, and that's great, and man, he's got all this money, so he can do it. And I said, but too bad I can't do it, right? But that is wrong.
Okay.
We all have something we offer. You're offering the wonderful smile at the very, very least right here, right now,
That's
in
right.
addition to all the things that you're offering. So
Yes.
ever since
No,
that,
it's a welcoming, it's an acknowledgement, and you're absolutely right. This is the foundation of us building community, building together to make the world a better place. Whatever you have to offer
I think
is
so.
of value.
So with a little bit of self-esteem, at least a little bit of self-esteem, we all can offer, and we can all be millionaires.
That's right.
In a way, I'm a mind-observing millionaire.
That's right.
No matter what you find when you dig into my pocket.
Absolutely. That's, your wealth is beyond measure. You're here and you're interconnected with all the wealth that exists in the universe. So we are all consummate wealthy humans, earthlings.
Even my sister is doing great things. Dale, her other offspring.
Yes.
Playing with, is it Tuli Mbeke?
Well, Tuli, that I know. The last part, you have to guess.
Mbeke.
That's what it is,
right.
Tuli. They have a South African a cappella group of 7 women. Fantastic group. Fantastic. So they're going to be doing
They
some
might be
more
related
things.
to the past president, Mbeke.
Wonder.
I don't know. She hasn't said that.
Okay. Okay.
The name of the presentation is My Freedom. I guess it's finished now, right?
For now, they're auditioning for other backers and stuff.
Fabulous. Did she do the project in South Africa?
No, did it down on, what was it, at 40th Street?
In New York City.
In New York, yeah. Had a very good run of about 5 days there. Very, very good.
Well, we're going to run and see you at the Blue Note.
Yeah. Blue Note is my other home.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
Many experiences there.
So, as we close out the gardens this morning, tell us how we can see you at the Blue Note tonight.
Come down tonight. We have 2 shows, 8 o'clock and 10:30 at 131 West 3rd Street, Blue Note. We have tomorrow, 8 o'clock again and 10:30. I'm performing there with Larry Coryell, and Julian Coryell and Morale Coryell, and on basses, Victor Bailey,
Wow.
You know, and it's not something to be missed because again, it's family.
Yes.
I'm also playing April 7th at a place that has been very important to my development. Again, Manor House Workshops. That's going to be with Andrea Brackfeld.
Oh, that's wonderful. We heard so many good things about that flautist, and I was inspired to play Hubert Law's Pavan that day before you even got here, Miss Denard.
Oh, amazing,
amazing! And the Passacaglia in C minor, I played from Hubert Law's as well.
Well, Hubert is one. I played. This. We're going to do a song. I played with him in not Detroit, but Ann Arbor, Michigan, and he does a song called Airgen. And he does this really up-tempo piece. And Andrea and I agreed to do that as a duet, just flute and percussion.
Oh, so. Fantastic. Oh, my God. Well, let me just do our little housekeeping here.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
And tell you what a thrill it is to have you all, and to have you, Mr. Denard, with me again. You know?
To be here.
Absolutely. And Miss Cherie, thank you so much for being here and being so lovely. Thank you. Kenwood Denard.
And a quick ending is, basically we talk about millionaires, but I always have managed to put forth some finances, even if it wasn't $1 million in finances, to support what I believed in. So if anyone feels that way, they need to please support this wonderful and worthy organization by going to
MHW at Manor House Jazz. And get on to our Facebook. We've got that thing. What do you got? That PayPal?
Yes,
People
PayPal.
have been palling us with a little bit of money, which is
that's
wonderful.
It's wonderful.
Yes, wonderful.
Oh, that's beautiful. MHW at manorhouse.com.
Yes.
Oh, that's
manorhousejazz.com.
Manorhousejazz.com. Manorhousejazz.com.
If I'm not mistaken, it's www.mhw@manorhousejazz.org. Is that correct?
Just manorhousejazz.org.
There
That's
you go.
our Facebook.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right. There you go. The .org. Yes, indeed. That's perfect.
All right.
Now that instrument, as we close out and we introduce our good brother who's coming in, Nelson Radames Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
We could play a little bit of that fabulous instrument you have.
This is from Dizzy Gillespie.
Dizzy Gillespie
showed me this.
The mouth harp.
Body, wah!
Oh, I love you too. Oh my God. How fantastic. Oh my God. This is just amazing. Nelson he's got this big juicy smile on his face. Nelson. Kenwood. Nelson Radames, meet Kenwood Denard.
Wonderful.
And family. Cherie Denard and Gloria Denard. Oh, how beautiful. I'm so impressed. Come close. Come close.
Okay.